Hi everyone, this is LAR Games, and today I'm playing some more Genshin Impact. Now, as you recall, last time, uh, my gameplay was interrupted because of a certain really annoying mechanic in Genshin Impact where quests can stop you from doing other quests, often very nonsensically. So I'm gonna start this event. I hate that I'm gonna have to mix them up like this, intertwine these storylines when they really shouldn't be. But, yeah, I guess we'll start it. I think we saw some of this in the trailer for this version. Pretty sure Ito's involved. Also, just realized I went right up to him because of basically muscle memory at this point. I wasn't even thinking. I just went up to him because of the reputation grinding.
Ah, it's you two. Yes, it has been a while.
We heard the Yashiro Commission is holding a test of courage, so we came right over to sign ourselves up. We didn't expect to see you here in person, though. Does that mean this event is really important?
You think I only make an appearance for occasions that are deemed sufficiently important?
I guess.
It just so happens that this test of courage event was actually my suggestion. But naturally, I've left the planning and more trifling details to be arranged by my retainers.
So, where's Ayaka?
Considering that such events are quite popular across Teyvat, I've had numerous examples to draw from, so everything should be in good order. I'm merely here to do a routine check on the progress of the event, that's all.
Oh, Paimon gets it! So what you're saying is you're not very busy right now.
You know, another thing that's really nonsensical about this is that the storyline that is interrupting is one that's mainly centered around Inazuma, and just because we're checking up on something, I mean, it's centered around Sumeru, and we're just checking up on something in Inazuma. Now we just can't do it anymore. God, that's so freaking dumb.
In that case, maybe you can give us a quick rundown of the event rules.
Why couldn't they just make NPCs, like, be able to handle multiple things at once? Like, start a conversation with them based on whatever quest you're doing. I don't understand why they have to interrupt each other like that.
Only Paimon could be so natural at ordering others around. However, the possibility remains that we may yet require your assistance.
Sorry, what did you say?
Nothing. Seeing as I apparently have some time, I suppose we may chat about the event for a moment.
Yippee!
As its name implies, the event is a game designed to put one's courage to the test. The venue for the event will be set up in the Chinju Forest. Before the start of each round, participants will be divided into teams of 2. Once teams have been formed, the event staff will announce the name of an item that has been placed in or around the Chinju Forest area.
So it's like an actual game.
The first person to locate the specified item will be declared the winner of that round.
The winner of that round? Huh. So there's gonna be multiple rounds to the test of courage?
Precisely. There will be a total of 3 rounds in the Test of Courage because the event was actually orchestrated by 3 different parties. Merchants raised event funding, the Kamisato clan provided the grounds, and the Grand Narukami Shrine provided consulting services. As such, each of these 3 parties have selected one item for participants to find. So, naturally, the event will require 3 rounds to determine the winners.
Paimon gets it. So basically, it boils down to searching for stuff in Chinju Forest. We'll need to find one item each round for a total of 3 items after 3 rounds.
Yes, seems you've got the gist of it. We will be issuing different rewards based on the number of rounds won. So, if a participant wins multiple rounds, then that will also be reflected in their final reward.
Super gamey.
If a participant manages to find all 3 items, then they shall receive the grand prize provided by the Grand Narukami Shrine.
Ooh, a grand prize? sounds like it could be really valuable.
As for its true value, I'm afraid you'll have to win the event first and ask Lady Guji yourself. Of course, this event is intended to measure your courage. If you withdraw from the event because you become too frightened, then you might as well forget about seeing any rewards.
Canonically, I don't think we really fear much.
I'm curious myself how many people will be brave enough to make it to the end. It'll be most disappointing if nobody claims the prizes we've prepared.
Don't worry, those prizes are as good as ours!
As usual.
Even though just the thought of this event sends shivers down Paimon's little spine, the Traveler will be brave enough, no doubt about that.
Aw, shucks.
No need to be so modest. Your journey thus far already speaks volumes of your bravery. Anyway, I think I've given you sufficient details. I'll add your names to the list of participants momentarily. As for the 3 items you'll be searching for, please wait for a staff member to inform you at the start of the event. Oh, and a friendly word of advice. Test of Courage events tend to give rise to a variety of strange rumors and stories. So please, be sure to exercise caution.
That line was in the trailer.
Whoa, what did he mean by that? Oh, will there be spooky things in Chinju Forest?
Yeah.
Not even you're trying to scare Paimon! Anyway, we got an event to win. Grand prize, here we come!
Oh no, anyway. Alright, I am just going to start this and not actually go much further. Unless it makes me. Okay.
If there's anything you wish for, I'll grant it.
So now, outside. Yep. Ito. Hey buddy, what's up?
Hold it right there. Oh, well, if it isn't my compadres. Didn't expect to see you here.
Huh? Paimon knows that voice. It's Ito! What are you doing here? Oh, wait, don't tell Paimon you're here for the test of courage.
Ha! What else? I'm sorry, but those prizes already belong to yours truly. Arataki ain't scared of nothing, Ito. I mean, well, that's what I really want to say. But I have actually got something else going on.
Oh? What's that?
It's a long story. As soon as I heard about the test of courage, I got the gang together and was ready to bring everyone for the time of their lives. But it turns out the other members weren't as pumped about the event as me. Chinju Forest? We've already been there
Oh my God.
a million times. There's nothing scary about that place. That event's just a game for
That's
kids.
amazing.
What a waste of time. Let's play some genius invocation TCG. Seriously? Test of courage? Ugh, whatever. I guess if that's what the boss wants.
Gollum has nothing on him.
Can you believe that? What a group of deadbeats. I'm not gonna put up with that. Nuh-uh, not in my gang.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. Dragging the gang to an event they don't want to go to won't be the best for your reputation as a leader.
Hey, this isn't about me. As leader of the Arataki gang, it's my duty to find new and tantalizing experiences for everyone. A happy gang means a happy life. Even if they can't get it through their stubborn heads now, one way or another, I'll show them how much fun a test of courage can be.
I'm sad he didn't do a Shinobu impression.
Anyway, I'm no stranger to Chinju Forest. Sure, it was a little terrifying going through there, but hey, I'm used to it now. And seriously, what kind of scary pranks could those guys in the Yashiro Commission ever come up with? If they can't scare anyone, then it's not going to be a test of courage, now is it? Not to mention, if the gang starts complaining, I won't ever be able to show my face around here.
And after all that talk, it still boils down to you.
Well, leading a gang can be complicated. You don't understand. Anywho, I've got a plan. Since there's no way I can trust the Yashiro Commission to make a fun event, I've decided to step in and spice things up a little.
Wait, you don't seriously mean that?
Oh, you bet I do. Yours truly is gonna be out scaring people. I'm taking this event to a whole nother level.
Well, that explains the seen in the trailer.
But it's gonna take more than an Oni to make it happen, so I came here to recruit some help. And then I saw you come walking along. Come on, come scare people with me, please.
No way!
Pretty please?
Forget it!
I love these camera angles and movements.
Pretty please?
Ah, fine. But don't forget, we're here to win the test of courage and take home the grand prize. We'll help you out, just don't get in the way of our prize.
Yes! You're a real Oni saver. Hey, don't worry, with me around, winning the test of courage will be a piece of cake. All right, those participants won't scare themselves. Let's get out there.
I feel like the dialogue system is more responsive. I feel like the animations are adapting to the text instead of the other way around. At least that's what it feels like. Because like he was doing his like hair comb animation, but I pressed a little quicker than the pause would have allowed before his animation ended, and he like quickly moved to the next one. I don't think you could do that before.
What a noisy guy. But after hearing him laugh and talk, Paimon doesn't feel scared anymore. Huh. Maybe laughter is the key to making fear go away. If things get scary later, we can all start laughing at the top of our lungs.
I was about to say this.
Hey, Traveler, Paimon, enough chit-chat. We're gonna miss the event.
Coming!
Oh, this guy that I still haven't actually met. Because I haven't done the hangouts. Alright, can I? I can. But I'm not satisfied with this because I might accidentally trigger this.
Alright, this looks like the place. Is it just Paimon, or does it look a lot scarier than usual here?
Nah. Nah, it's fine. Oh,
Hey, Paimon.
didn't let me... Paimon's expression right now. I was about to say, it didn't let me skip through to, like, the pan, so I guess I was just wrong about that. Maybe it doesn't apply to camera movements. I'm not sure.
Oh, don't sneak up on Paimon like that! What do you want?
Nah, nothing. I just had a thought occur to me. I want to scare the gang members real good, but now that I think about it, I've never actually scared anyone before.
I feel that's probably untrue.
You're only now realizing this?
Practice? Oh, now there's an idea. Hey, I've got it. Why don't you join the test of courage like everyone else, and I'll go hide and try to scare you from time to time. Then you two can judge my scaring skills. All right, that's the plan. Let me go get ready. Just wait. You'll see how scary this Oni can be.
And there he goes, running off and still talking to himself. Well, we were here to join the event anyway. Guess we'll just have to pass Ito's little test along with whatever else the event throws at us. Oh, seems one of the event staff is over there. Let's go talk to her.
Alright, so since I actually have to talk to this character, this is a good place to, you know. Continue where I left off on the other quest. Don't exactly know what was stopping me here. Ah, okay, that explains the Yashiro Commission itself. Basically, Ayaka's house was being used. Wasn't even a character, it was the house. Oh, Genshin. You do some really amazing things, but some really, really dumb things as well.
We're here! This is the Yashiro Commission's headquarters, so...
Traveler, it's been a while.
Who is this? Is this the guy that had his vision taken away?
If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid your timing is unfortunate.
Doesn't sound like
They're
him.
not here right now.
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's place. If it's urgent, you're welcome to wait inside until they get back.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it.
Oh, great. My headset died. Hold on.
We'll be heading in then. Thanks!
Ayaka, where are you? I haven't seen you in a while.
Hello, dears. Is there something you want to say? Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. Miss Kamisato has told me about you. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy attending all kinds of meetings and occasionally paying visits to some local organizations on the Commissioner's behalf. As for the Commissioner himself, well, you know.
So pretty much business as usual in the Yashiro Commission, huh?
Very much so.
Really didn't need to lock this area out just to talk to her.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very welcome. In fact, I would love nothing more than for you to come and visit more often. But I'm sure you must be far too busy to have time for that.
Well, at one point I came here literally every week.
Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled to have you as a friend, and she's always saying how talented you are and how much she admires you.
Oh, you're making me blush. She's making me blush.
I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you arrived here. So you're not just Miss Kamisato's knight in shining armor, you know. You're a hero to us all.
And if it wasn't already apparent that Ayaka has a real big thing, even in the main story for the Traveler, I mean, you can't get much more obvious than knight in shining armor. That's pretty heavy romantic implications there.
I mean it. Whenever the Commissioner dines at home, Toma always joins him. I always find myself at my most relaxed when I'm serving the two of them and listening to them chat away. The Commissioner has such a busy schedule that he doesn't always have the chance to take his meals at home. But given the opportunity, he always prefers to dine here. They say it's because Toma's a much better chef than most. Oh, the Commissioner is so fond of home comforts. They get to talking about you sometimes too, you know. Always with a very fond tone. The way one would talk about dear old friends around whom one can truly be themselves.
My charm knows no bounds.
Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them as well. Whenever the whole family gets together and they start talking about people they've met and experiences they've had, you always get a mention.
This old lady has a very interesting voice.
It's been many years now since the late Mr. and Mrs. Kamisato passed away. Much has happened in the Kamisato clan in that time. As someone who is old and gray enough to have watched their son and daughter grow up, it makes me so happy to see them meet a dependable friend whose company they enjoy so much.
You know, I kind of hate her voice. Not gonna lie.
So, in the
Pretty annoying to
future,
listen to.
If you ever do have the time, please know you are always very welcome at the Yashiro Commission headquarters. There will always be at least one old lady who would be delighted to have the pleasure of your company. Wonderful. Thank you.
Paimon likes it here too. Also, you were saying something about the food here being really great.
Oh my god, Paimon.
Paimon's itching to try it. We may just have to invite ourselves around for dinner sometime. Paimon meant we should come pay a visit again real soon. Ideally around dinner time.
If I ever do, I'll make sure to leave you somewhere that can babysit you.
Of course. You're always welcome.
Alright, goodbye for now. Where are we going next? Great! Goodbye, ma'am! Don't worry, we'll see ourselves out.
All right, then. Take care now. Hope to see you soon.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken care of now. Don't worry.
Very well. Safe travels.
Alright, there is pretty important. Good thing I finally did that. It took me a long time, but eventually I did it. You know what would suck? One of these events or storylines required me to have finished the other island that I didn't do, that I haven't done because of a similar reason.
Well, here we are. But what are we looking for? Something or someone?
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the Traveler and Paimon?
You finally have a voice, huh?
Xavier? What are you doing here?
That's how you say his name? For some reason I thought it was Xavier. Xavier, huh?
I was in the general area, and now I'm in this specific area. There, that's me. So what about you two?
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here in some depth. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away. Like the back of my hand. Make no mistake, I have been here a good many times before.
Of course.
Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years ago. They said it's all true, the history here.
Go on, I'm listening.
Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know? The tale of Tatarasuna starts a long time ago. I'm told that its history as one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation goes back around 1,000 years. Still, the furnace has had a couple of serious maintenance issues along the way.
A couple? When exactly?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. There was a guy back then too.
We know.
They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our two nations goes back a long way. How about that?
And you guys are still wearing the same clothes.
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about Tatarasuna? Come on, ask already.
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today. Feels like we've been preparing for a history exam or something.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for historical knowledge?
I don't know.
Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono? No, I can't say that I have. I do know the word, Inazuman, for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the nines. But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do with a kabuki mono where Tatarasuna is concerned. Of course! Don't mention it.
Oh, we're leaving? Okay, bye, Xavier.
Oh, you're most welcome. More than happy to help. Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but what's up with you today? Whatever it is, it seems like it's really troubling you. Keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, Paimon will always be there for you.
Never heard that one before.
Hey, don't mention it.
Cute.
Alright, let's head off and go meet Nahida.
No.
Hey!
I could go for some curry.
Hey, it's them!
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
Please don't make me read a different version of that story.
We have time. What do you want to talk to us about?
It's the same topic we discussed last time. Obviously.
Which was? I'm sure it's different now.
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh? Should we join them?
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress.
Can I? Yep.
Huh? Oh, of course.
Well, let's see how it's different. Alright, let's see. Okay, that's similar. Huh. It's a lot more violent. Unless I misremembered it and this is all the same and the gold is the only different thing. I'll assume that, those are the changes. Or maybe it's just the addition of another character.
I presume you'll want to read mine as well.
Oh no.
Here.
Alright, let's read this story. Nah.
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this? Well, we just got back from Inazuma. So how about we tell them what we learned?
You know, I think canonically it would take like weeks to travel there, but I'm pretty sure story-wise we do use the teleport points.
What did you find out? Something big?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma, and...
Wow. So many new details. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Armanoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true. Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after all.
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days, to the extent that harming them was conceived of, at least by the perpetrator, as a way of exacting revenge against those in power.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
And they're back
Thought
at
it was a paper.
These guys are really into this.
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects and ignoring you. Thank you so much for the information.
You're welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do.
I guess we see Nahida now. Yep.
Nahida, we're here! Traveler, Paimon, how have you been? Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then he decided he wanted to go to Inazuma. The Balladeer?
So even she forgot, huh?
Sounds like some kind of code name.
Should I tell her then? I mean, that's not related to the wishes of Rukkhadevata, so I feel we might as well.
You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me? Traveler? Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset.
Nice. We're actually telling. I love it when characters actually tell other characters things. Don't keep them secret.
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that he could change the past.
That's what you get for trusting him so easily.
But how was he even able to do that? As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently.
Huh.
I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality. So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because... well, because he literally changed the world? Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. But I'm struggling to imagine the kind of person who would dare go through with it. The Traveler comes from a world beyond to that. That's why there's no information about him in Irminsul, and it also explains why any changes to Irminsul wouldn't affect him.
But if that's the case, wouldn't like the fact that I'm not recorded in Irminsul mean that nobody would recognize that I exist? If, you know, not having records in Irminsul means that something doesn't exist, just like what the Balladeer did, erasing himself. So that's a bit weird.
So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you.
It's quite incredible when you think about it.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this balladeer guy's motivations. Why did he do it?
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was, only you remember that.
He was a bit of a brat. Very selfish. Well, his last action wasn't selfish, so at least I'll give him that. I wish this was voiced.
You? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right? Once the balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. Now he saw them as friends again. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, it would be hard not to try.
It's so dumb that he decided to hate all humans after a certain group of people betrayed him. Which means it could easily happen again. If somebody actually does betray him, which is, likely considering how long he can live. The chances of something happening just increase a lot.
The story makes sense. Every part of it. The balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power to connect with Irminsul.
So that's why she specifically sent him, even if she couldn't, even if she probably shouldn't have trusted him. Might have been her only option. Hoping to reel him in with whatever she used.
That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase himself, even though he didn't have much strength left.
Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in tragedy for his friends. It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like he got nothing in return.
Please wait a moment. I want to check something. Found it. This should be the one.
Oh.
It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything he has told us.
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
Interesting.
Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote it?
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a fairy tale that somehow has something to do with the balladeer?
When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it is a symbol for something else.
Hold on. So this record survived from the past?
Yes. Any information about the balladeer or the kabuki mono in other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact.
I'm not following too well on this. It's kind of confusing how Irminsul's records work. Like, it doesn't actually change time, just like the world's knowledge of it, I assume. But it also changes information, so like things written down. So sort of changes the past at the same time, because it's changing something that was already written down, so it would need to change something that's physically there. But somehow, just by, I guess, essentially you're tricking Irminsul into thinking that it's not about something when it is. I guess when you delete something from Irminsul's records, it like consciously scrubs through everything to make sure everything's erased properly. But if it misses something, it can miss it. That would also explain why, even with the awesome change in Rukkhadevata's existence in the game's lore, there are some oversights. That could explain that as well. Basically covering for the developer's possible mistakes.
Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that. But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance.
Yes, they could trick it.
I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the Balladeer entered Irminsul.
That's incredible! What a great idea!
And sending the Traveler into Irminsul with the Balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew he'd remember everything. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one he told us. The now erased life of the Balladeer. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans.
Is the twist going to be that the foxes always knew what he was, but they accepted him anyway? They weren't being tricked?
The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur.
I like how the costume has...
saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Even without a tail and fur like ours, you are still one of us.
I like how the costume that the monster is wearing has, like, dead eyes. Like if it's a skinned fox or something.
Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice.
Well, that's not a very nice monster, then. Maybe they shouldn't have accepted it.
A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this."
Wait, it was a different monster that did this.
The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure.
This isn't a very kid-friendly fairy tale, is it?
The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and die for your fox kin." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. After burying the bird, the kitten left the mountain for good. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at the moon.
So the kitten is Scaramouche, and the monster is the doctor.
How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, then it would finally be peaceful and content. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different.
That's pretty extreme.
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer story. It is his very own memories. I made a backup so that it would be preserved no matter what happened.
She basically encrypted it and just decrypted it right now.
To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able to survive is that he was a puppet. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves with. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his memory for later use.
You know, the great sage could have mentioned this.
I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one occasion. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished like a puff of smoke.
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was unsuccessful, he still helped you. Before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail. That Conria was where your twin first came into this world. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger.
Yeah, so there's less Harbingers now. That's kind of interesting.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still, Paimon doesn't like the way it all ended that much better.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, but the question still troubles us. So the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth and then conquer the troubles they face. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act on his desire to disappear must have meant a lot. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us toward a better destination.
Wait a minute. I was wondering if the story was going to lead up to us somehow fixing the records that he deleted. But what if this is just now like an alternate universe where he was never the Balladeer and then he's someone else? The, you know, quote unquote wanderer that we can summon. But does that mean he actually erased himself or erased, you know, the things he did after being created? So he still was created. Just did different things.
And that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up. How about we go get something to eat? We can pick up this heavy conversation again later.
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take him out for a walk to clear his head?
Paimon doesn't walk.
You got it. Come on, traveler.
I guess she's taking me
Get out
for a
of your head
walk.
For a while. You'll feel much better after taking a walk.
It'd be kind of funny to see Paimon walk.
Stalls in the Grand Bazaar. That'll be sure to lift our spirits.
There's a few things I'd like to look into.
Grand Bazaar.
It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's always here to help cheer you up.
Nobody saw anything.
We're here! What should we eat first? Hey, are you gonna answer or what? Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out. Then we can get something to eat.
Could we see Nilu at least?
What is it? Have you figured it all out? Why'd you jump up all of a sudden?
That's a good point. Yeah, we can't really connect the dots with her.
Excuse me, boss. There
Nope.
seems to
Well,
be a
that
small
explains it.
problem with the last bill. Look, here.
So he's literally a different character, pretty much. Different experiences, unless he remembers everything.
Hey! Hey, wait!
You mean me?
No, not you. That kid. Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last 2 fresh Sunsettias and ran off. Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? Work's too boring for you? Or has the big city got too many distractions?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss.
So he's working.
I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting. It can be hard to focus.
It's actual different personality.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I actually give you some work to do, you keep letting yourself get distracted. I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this, pretty soon I won't be able to afford to.
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful you agreed to take on an outsider like me.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look, we're all out of Sunsettias, and I promised the lady down the street I'd deliver a fruit bowl this evening.
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment. I'll be right back.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got greedy. Couldn't believe my luck. But I figured you'd start asking for something in return eventually. You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around, taking in the sights. Are you a drifter or something?
Some sort of wanderer.
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those fruits you needed. Sunsettias, was it? I'll be right back.
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stay out of sight. Don't let him see you.
Good that it isn't an actual tailing mission, because that would be annoying. Just gonna grab these real quick.
Everyone hold hands.
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the Balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his Sunsetias? Isn't that a bit too cruel? Oh, alright.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash them before I take them back. Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
He spotted us!
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice. Have we met before?
God, Sunsetias are huge. Oh my god, they're the size of melons. That's way more than a fruit bowl. That's like a fruit tub.
No, we haven't met. But you know me? I have no recollection.
Are you absolutely sure?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
A puppet? What makes you think that?
Huh?
You were right! The look on his face!
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is must be important.
So, his personality now isn't really matching his personality that I saw in the trailer, or is, Did I watch his... No, I don't think I watched his demo yet.
Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my boss first.
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more for it. Is that true?
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm, and he let me take shelter in his cart. In return, I said I'd be his helper for a while.
That's oddly nice of you.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay?
I guess this means he hasn't been betrayed in all this time by anyone. Lucky.
And let's return to the city.
And before the merchant stabs him in the back, then he gets all moody again.
Here you go, boss. I'll leave them right here.
Oh, you really went and picked some more. Who are these two?
You should know me by now.
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss. I'm afraid I'll be away from the stall for a while.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go wherever you want, kid. Don't waste your time here.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. Even then, I don't understand why you're so adamant that you don't want any pay for it. But look, it was pouring down, and there you were, sauntering along without a care in the world, like you had nowhere to be and didn't even care that it was raining.
I mean, he does have a gigantic umbrella hat.
Imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why is this guy traveling during a rainstorm if he's not trying to get somewhere? And why is he taking a shortcut through the open country if he's not even in a hurry?
He's literally wandering.
But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this. Your time is valuable. You know, you should go live your life.
He has plenty of time. Don't you worry about that.
But I don't... No, you're right. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye. Thank you again for taking me into the city.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years. I just hope you find your path.
Thank you. All right, done. Thanks for waiting for me. We can go now.
No. 。 So he gonna tell him or what? Gonna give his memory back? Is he gonna turn edgy again?
What's wrong? Huh? Are you?
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion.
God, it's so weird to hear him talking politely.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything. So, yeah, quite an eventful walk.
So, my thoughts right now are basically Scaradouche is dead. And he kind of like created an alternate version of himself. Essentially. So, yeah, he kind of killed himself there. And replaced himself with someone not awful. An unbroken version, you could say.
You say that you are trekking across to Vat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja. Why do you refer to yourself as a wanderer?
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I don't remember saying that.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... this is a difficult one to explain.
No, it isn't. Another version of you erased himself from history and changed everything, and you're the result of that.
I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case, it seems that it ought to be called, previous incarnation.
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far more distant than the past. So far away that you cannot perceive it.
Okay, I have to ask. What was I like in my previous incarnation?
Pretty freaking awful.
Oh, okay. I see. You want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my previous incarnation. If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just as difficult to hear, but I'll be able to handle it. Please, tell me the truth.
Starts throwing things after he hears. Starts shooting, what's his element? Hydro or Animo? Yeah, I think it's Animo. Just starts throwing wind everywhere.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be considered evil. You nearly died because of what other people did, and many died because of you. As a non-human being, you hated gods and humans alike. You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a heart. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of yourself go, or you'll never be happy.
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
In terms of the outcome alone, that's true.
I do wonder how people remember all the events. Like, was Hypatia still taken over? How did the Iridori storyline go without him? That kind of stuff. Also, who made me faint during the whole Watatsumi Island, like the end of that storyline there? Like, Paimon should remember that part, right? Well, it happening, not specifically Scaramouche being there.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time, a chain of cause and effect, a cycle of karma and consequence.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet, dichotomies like this are not enough to explain the world in all of its complexity.
So, based on everything that we've seen, in terms of the character Wanderer, I can't say that I hate him. He's still not an appealing character to me, obviously, and I wouldn't roll for him, but I can't consider him a villain. Because he's literally a different person.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but yeah, we weren't your biggest fans.
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's just some random stranger we met on the street! He's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk because he doesn't remember anything! What a weird situation.
Well, he's not the one that did that. The one that did that is gone now. He basically offed himself.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that everything you told me must be true.
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories themselves, if you're willing.
To me, this is essentially what it would take to redeem a character like Accelerator. Him dying, even if like there was like a clone of him that didn't do any of those things, and then continued on in his place. That I feel would be a fitting redemption. Of course, for Accelerator, he would have to kill himself in horrendous ways, around like 10,000 times to make up for the things he did, in my opinion, and then stay dead. I've said this, I've shared this opinion multiple times to multiple people before, but I always feel the need to reiterate it to a new audience, I guess. New ears. But yeah, this is essentially what the Wanderer did. Not necessarily in terms of suffering, but just the fact that he's not benefiting from anything anymore. He's just gone, which is great.
Please, I want to see them for myself. I want to experience my own transgressions.
No, is this going to change him and he's going to go back to being edgy? Please no.
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to cling to fill the void within me. Except maybe these sins that can never be undone.
Very well. As you wish.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of on us for bringing him here.
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face, it's my burden to bear.
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Sure.
Oh, good point. Given your, unique situation, we'd better keep an eye on you.
Understood.
Thank you. Now, prepare yourselves, everyone.
Oh. That's a Halo console right there. Oh.
This looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth. But be aware that enemies may react just like in the real world. Please be careful.
If you die in the game, you die for real.
Sounds like an immersive experience. It's a good thing we came along.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your protection.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
I'm still under the belief, the thought process that this version of him has no burdens to bear because he did not do those things.
All right. Thanks.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation. You had a great many memories here.
Is that because this is kind of like his birthplace?
You could say that, in a sense. You'll see why shortly.
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite construction work, and so well preserved, too. No mining crew would be capable of this. There's someone passed out on the ground.
So they're the first ones that found him.
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened? How'd you get stuck here? Are you injured? Huh. Not a scratch. And these fine clothes. Who are you?
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the Balladeer in Shake Pavilion and took him back to Tatarasuna.
And the rest is history. Well, it used to be.
In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Okay, so that part was still the same. I think. It was hard to remember. It was a few days ago, alright?
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby. Hang in there.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor, disguised as a mechanic. The Balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, disappeared not long after. As the second in command at Tatarasuna, responsibility for what had happened fell to Mikoshi Nagamasa. But Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life. At Katsuragi's insistence, Nagamasa killed him to put an end to the Tatarasuna incident.
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Oh, hello.
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabukimono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
Huh? What are we doing back here? Whoa, this is where you were born? It's pretty, but there's nobody here.
Hello, generic child that looks literally the same as every other one.
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first, but there's nothing for us here. We can't stay.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died, and then my dad got sick.
Nah, there's a kid that died and made him edgy.
He kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then Mom started coughing too.
But you can't. You promised me.
See, this is one of the things I don't really understand. He has no control over that, so even a promise doesn't matter.
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna be together forever and ever.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the Balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him.
Well, that's freaking tragic.
After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. Some of the neighbors helped to raise him.
And they didn't give him a name?
After leaving Tatarasuna, the Balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him. They made a promise to live together.
What happened to the child then?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
That's freaking messed up. Didn't think I'd find dead children in the main story of Genshin Impact.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from Niwa and all the others. You betrayed me too.
I guess he was already gone by this time. Like, before the kid died. It's just that the kid was the trigger for his craziness, I guess. Like, an additional trigger. Or, like, just a trigger in general. Like, anything could have set him off.
The voices have gone. It looks like the memory ends here.
Let's keep going.
Ha! Joke's on you. I was using Mona.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that can be wielded with an iron will. To continue to dread things.
Are you trying to win me over?
Long-fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
Ow.
Shadows of... Allow me! Billowing surge!
Go on! Give me a go! Time to kill joy! We've only just begun! Finished!
I see through you! I miscalculated.
This place is dark.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. How does Paimon remember this?
Paimon knows this place. It's the delusion factory in Inazuma.
Okay, so what's your version of this now?
In the original version of events, the traveler once encountered the balladeer here.
Okay, but what does Paimon remember?
Such a creepy atmosphere. And so familiar. Hey, look over there!
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown
Oh, I don't want to
and
see
these
her again.
incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
Huh. What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are a part of this plan. Perhaps you find fighting in the Abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this pales in comparison to being experimented on by the doctor.
Very messed up, Senora. Very messed up.
What a sharp tongue you have. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Should have taken that advice.
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
It's called being disintegrated.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible, and don't let your emotions get in the way.
Yeah, she should have followed his advice.
Surely you're not worried about me.
Some people were for some reason.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out like trash, must make you want to destroy it completely.
Gosh, she loves pushing people's buttons. And not in the good way. Well, guess it's in the good way for some people.
Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the consequences now. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue of yours a rest and
Ew.
stop pretending like you're above everyone else.
Look who's talking. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black.
By then, see you at the victory feast.
Ugh, man, I forgot how unpleasant it was to watch her walk.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire talking to me like that. Who does she think she is?
Definitely not someone who's about to be incinerated.
Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now. I should prepare to give them a warm welcome.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come. Wanderer, are you able to continue?
Yes. Please don't worry about me.
Why are you staring at me in silence?
What?
Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
Fighting Signora again is not something that I feel like I would want to do.
Nothing mattered to you except resolve to your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Hey, die please. Wait, you're still not dead?
I see everything!
Are you ready to play with me?
Let me scribe, decided by destiny. Uphill battle.
Allow me. Billowing fish. The more, the merrier. The systems no longer.
With all my strength, all eyes on me.
Can't run from death.
Nope, back
Looks
here.
like we have arrived in Sumeru. Is that?
Considering that Amorta's sage Nafis refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
We can use this to, like, learn a lot of secrets from the Fatui. Just like a spying tool.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound to the machine, and he will be unable to move independently of it.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the Abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy experiments?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
Hey, another line from the trailer.
The doctor again? That was uncomfortable to watch.
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Paimon.
Let's move on.
You really didn't have to make me walk those couple of steps. Could have just gone directly to the next scene.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, You are evil.
I don't think he should. They have different experiences. Just because my alternate universe self would be like, I don't know, an evil warlord, doesn't mean that I am.
In your eyes, are there any differences between humans and puppets?
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences between humans and puppets? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with rage at the tragedy of death that eclipses the miracle of life, they are human too.
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear.
They aren't, though. It's just your past self putting the burden onto you, if that's the case.
No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Whatever I am due, let it come to pass. Can you return my memories to me?
Well, if he has all of his memories, then he'll pretty much become him, and that explains him being edgy. That's disappointing. It's basically absorbing the other one. Ah.
But won't that mean you'll lose your current identity?
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules, with each person being a collection of past experiences. As a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rules.
I don't like where this is going.
Regaining your memories
Prefer he would have been
means
dead,
reverting
or stayed
completely to
dead.
your previous incarnation.
Just bring him back to
All
life.
the emotions that you discarded will return to you. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with a void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one place to the next. But then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins might be my one opportunity to become my true self. I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. But for all my soul searching as a Shugenja, I've never fully understood it. Looking at it now, it seems that I brought this curse upon myself. So I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain a purpose, to change my destiny, and end my wandering.
I don't like this.
Very well.
Would have liked him to just be a different character completely. Now we just have Scar douchebag
Since your mind is made up,
in a
I
different
will
form.
return to you that which is yours.
Unfortunate. We get a cutscene for it
Made your
too.
decision. Now, take this.
Nope.
Set him free.
Time to welcome the crazy back.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright?
Interesting. Nice. Didn't expect this. Whoa. Okay, that's awesome.
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why This won't be the end!
Oh, so he received a vision. This is the first time we've ever seen somebody get a vision.
Die.
And it had to be his.
This is
Darn.
trying my patience. Questions? Feeble human!
This is weird.
Behold!
Ow. How do you go higher?
Squall and fury!
That's how you do it.
At my command,
Dang it.
you shall fall! The wind rises. Insignificant past! Behold! My endless cycle begins! The wind rises. Wretched vermin! Churn! Squall and fury. Feeble human!
Ow.
The wind rises. Insignificant past! You're dead! That's far enough! Churn! Behold!
Well, you can move while you attack.
Feeble human!
His attack range is like incredibly far.
At my command, you shall wind rises. Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
And his old personality is back. Shame.
It disappeared. Did we win?
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self.
What a freaking shame.
Wait, but it was you inside that thing too. What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am. You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Very, very unfortunate. Ooh, that's cool.
Welcome back, Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just went on a really long journey. Paimon's exhausted.
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should probably change it. After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway.
Well, they don't know you
Recent
exist anymore.
events will have affected a lot of people, and they might not even remember who the 6th is.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless. At least I made a lot of people forget about me.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that.
To me, this kind of just seems like the Wanderer ended up taking over the mind of a more innocent version of himself. Which sucks.
Changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, these are not simple things to accomplish. What you are looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed. How ridiculous.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't you?
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information naturally.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan.
It was all part of her keikaku.
But before that,
Keikaku
I
means
wanted
plan.
to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the doctor.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be it. Oh right, I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into justice and all that. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers. I can live with that.
Well, he's back to being someone I would never roll for, because I don't like them.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply and see what secrets can be uncovered, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that point? I want to know as well.
I don't think we're gonna get answers to that for quite a long time.
I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how? Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you worry.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to zero. I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. There is no such thing as balancing the books. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed, which is why there is emotion in the human world. Everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever is missing in you will not be made whole. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
If they consider me human, might as well consider him human too.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become a human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just bearing your feelings. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day, it is but a tiny fraction of your life.
That is very true, actually.
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but the most important thing now is that you need to follow Nahida. Otherwise, all our efforts will have been for nothing.
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad
Okay.
that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
I think Scaradouche is fine.
Nickname for you too.
I already got that, Paimon.
Why?
Because Paimon still doesn't like you that much.
We're in agreement, Paimon.
Then I hope we don't see much of each other in the future.
Same.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
You're not gonna like it.
No, Paimon only does nicknames. If it's a serious name you're after, it's all yours.
Have you got anything?
We'll see. Wait, what? Can we choose anything? Please let us choose anything. That would be amazing. That's interesting. Interesting. Oh my god. Sure. When it comes to violating the terms of service, I wonder if they would have that name in there. Alright, let's see. Let's see if it lets me do it. Ooh, it let me.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, alright. If you say so.
Oh, this makes me laugh because it's like similar to like what people would do to like Gary in Pokemon games. Oh, that's hilarious. Like
There. Now you have a name of your own.
that actually almost makes you want to roll for him just to see his name like that.
What about a nickname? Are you done yet?
Still thinking. Stop rushing me.
Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought of one.
Oh my god, that's so freaking fun. I'm probably not the first person that did this, but oh my god, that's hilarious.
Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
Oh my god.
You mean the Fatui?
Oh, that's gonna make me laugh every time, I feel.
Doctor, at least.
Oh, that's so freaking funny.
Now that your stance has
Oh
changed,
man.
I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it won't be immediate. You still need some time to compose yourself.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden Gokuden's downfall. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
So they still happened, right? Man, it's so confusing how this works.
I see. That is up to you.
Huh? But if we do that, then...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have been.
Oh, that's so funny.
No nonsense. I like it. All right, let's call it a day. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
Oh, it's so freaking funny, man.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant. He'll need some time to calm down.
I do feel bad for the Wanderer, because he's basically gone now. Just died. And we brought back the other one.
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, he doesn't seem quite as fierce anymore.
I feel like there might have been like a little bit of a fusion going on, but it seems like, you know, the most prominent one is clearly Scaradouche.
So we can finally go eat? Paimon is starving.
Actually, me too. I'm pretty hungry. Got some tiny donuts next to me. Should probably eat some of those.
Thank you both. I hope you will find somewhere nice to go and relax for a while.
Is that the next version? Another vacation?
I've got it! I can end my novel with some words from Mikoshi Nagamasa.
You mean because everyone else in the story is dead?
Yeah, I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died at a ripe old age. He's the perfect fit to be the narrator of the epilogue. The dark clouds had dissipated, but they continued to cast their shadow in Mikoshi Nagamasa's mind for decades to come. Then, one night, as an old man, he had a dream. On the night when that prized blade, the Daitatara Nagamasa, was forged, the people rejoiced, and there was painting, dancing, and drinking.
Really wish NPCs had better character models. Like, look at how blurry that is. Look at that, like, thread. Is it thread? I guess I could call it a thread. String. Oh, that's string. Yeah, string. On the side of his arm there, it's just a flat texture instead of being actual geometry.
All these expressions of joy melted down in the furnace fire and turned into red clouds that rallied around the final sunrise that Mikoshi Nagamasa saw in his lifetime.
Kind of makes me wish that you could mod this game so people would make like character model replacers that would basically just improve clothing and stuff.
Life is a story too long to be told, a journey that you must walk to behold.
Oh, that's so freaking funny. Okay, let me look at something. There we go. Aw. Doesn't say there. I guess she meant just, you know, literally. So this wasn't the house we stayed at. I think it was over there. I wonder if we could still access it. I think it was that one right there. The house we stayed at during the loop.
It's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back. Wow, great! Huh? Look at that vase. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? But Paimon doesn't remember there being a cleaner.
Yeah.
You sound lost and confused.
Whoa. Rukkhadevata?
I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind overwhelmed.
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps a god may have a slim chance, but for anyone else, who can say? When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced. The same is true of fate. Like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the result is still a broken vase.
Oh, I see what it's going for. Yeah. Okay, so like, despite the fact that things were changed, it all still happens the same way. It's like Final Destination type stuff. You didn't die in the airplane, but you're gonna die anyway.
Who are you? How do you know about all this?
History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true.
I really like her
What
voice.
is unseen is but an illusion.
The voice has disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing coming out of nowhere and saying all that scary stuff? Anyway, that vase is still lying there broken on the ground. Should Paimon go get someone to clean it up? It feels wrong just leaving it there. Just a moment. Paimon will be right back.
Paimon's leaving me for a while. That's rare. Alright, here we go. That sounded like Rukkhadevata. Okay, so... Oh, that's so funny. Alright, well that's it for this. Almost 2 hours. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed my playthrough of the interlude chapter. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.